5, maybe 6, possibly 7 new disasters that have happened since my 8 a.m. live stream. I gotta tell you, you hear the thunder in the background? That is disaster number 1. Because on my Lazada review, I spoke about going outside, and by 10:30 I would be working on my TS 400 street saw. No sooner did I get outside and open up cargo can 1, it started raining lightly, but the sky got black really quick. So that's just one small part of living in the Philippines between the end of September and the first week of February. You're going to get rain sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and sometimes all day for 3 or 4 days in a row. That's our rainy season. So that's understandable, but it's problematic because it could be brilliant, sunny, perfectly clear, no clouds in the sky day, and an hour later you can have the onslaught of a sun shower. They call them sun showers of an inch of rain in under 2 hours. That's a lot of rain. That's number 1. So disaster number 1 is that from September to February, it can rain on any given day, at any time, even though the sun looks like it's out. The sun was out at 9:30 when I shut the live stream down, and now we have a torrential downpour. Okay, so what I did was, this is disaster number 2. Disaster number 2. So I have not had water for 4 days at all. Not even, one night, about a gallon of water came out of my hose pipe. One night, 1 gallon. That was 3 nights ago. And then last night, another gallon came out. Now, that's leaving the hose bib on for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In the last 4 days, I got 2 gallons of water out of my pipe. Now, my bill is paid for well over a year in advance. And I called up one of my neighbors, and he said he has water. And he lives further down the line than I do. So now I realize there's a problem with my pipe before the water meter. So I want to call up the water company, right? That's the logical thing to do. Well, I have in my phone now two numbers, 3 actually. One was the original water company number from about a year ago. Then one was the water company number that I got from the municipality of water in the city of Tagbilaran. That worked about 3 months ago. But then that number stopped working. Now I get a department in Tagbilaran City, not a department in Panglao Municipal Water. So I called up. So when I went to the municipality about 6 weeks ago, I mentioned this in a live stream, I checked on how much in advance payment I made for my water bill. So I am more than 1 year advanced pay for, based on 2 cubic meters a month, I am paid up for more than 1 year. So not a problem. It's documented, it's in their computer. So I called up, but on that day I asked for a landline for the water department. And they gave me a landline. And I got home and called the landline to check it. Then I put it in my cell phone. So that's the third number And that was given to me by the water department from the woman who checked on my billing. So when I called that number this morning, that number brought me to the water department in the city again. And the man in the city said, "Sir, we don't have the water department, the head of all the water department for Bohol, we don't have the number to the water department in Poblacion. They don't have inter-office phone numbers. When you move to the Philippines, you should understand it could take you an hour to 2 hours to get a telephone number, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to get it. Or at the end of the 2 hours that you have wasted trying to get a phone number, you can get into a tricycle or your car and go to the water department. That is the final suggestion. The last option, of course, especially now that it's raining, cats and dogs outside. So I call that last working number from 5 weeks ago. That number brings me to the city. The man in the city says, "Sir, just go to the water department." And I said, "Well, it's raining and I don't want to travel, and it'll take an hour to an hour and a half to go to the water department and come back. Sir, just go to the water department." It's like he didn't hear me. So I hung up on him. That was what we're talking to is we're talking to somebody who, in comparison to a box of rocks, the rocks take the winning prize. That's what we're talking to. When I just told him I don't want to do that, and he says again to do that, after I told him I don't want to do that, then what you got is somebody that has less higher brain function than a box of rocks. I hung up. I didn't say anything rude. I just hung up because he'll stay on that phone and argue with you for 20 minutes because he's getting paid and he doesn't care how much time he destroys from your day. So what you can do, what I did, was I called up the post office, which is in the same building as the water department, and I spoke with Paul, who I know. And I said to Paul, "Can you please go next door to the water department? There's 11 women working in the water department. Can you get a person from the water department to come to the phone?" Paul said, "Yes, sir, no problem," and went next. You could hear the door open and close. He went to the water department, which is about 20 feet away, maybe 25 feet. And he came back about 2 minutes later and said, "Sir, I can't get anybody to come here, but I have a number for you to call, a field agent. He's in your area." So since 11 o'clock, I have called up the field agent's cell phone number, but they don't answer the phone. So there we go, back to last option, whatever that is. Go to the water department and find out why my water isn't working, but my neighbors in the general area around me, their water is working. Now, I don't have a broken water meter. I don't have a leak. The dial on the cubic foot part of the water meter, none of the dials are moving. The water meter is on. So there's something before the water meter, a broken pipe, maybe somebody shut off. They thought they were shutting off a house that didn't pay a bill, and they shut the wrong meter off, or they shut the wrong. There's a main line, a junction, a manifold line, and the manifold has like 25 pipes coming out of it. Maybe somebody shut the wrong manifold line off, but that happens, but it's not supposed to happen. So now I have to get in touch with this guy here if he answers the phone, and I have him on speed dial. And if he answers the phone, I'll ask him to check my meter because it's not working. Now, it's raining, so he probably won't do that in the rain. And then we're going to go on to the next, we'll call it the Steve Montelli, the concept, the Steve Montelli concept. It's ringing. Hello? It's ringing. Hello? No, not yet. We'll call it the Steve Montelli way. Steve says, prepare to be underwhelmed. Prepare to be underwhelmed. So now 4 days I have no water. And I don't have a problem with that, really that much of a problem with that, but because what I do is I just use, there's bottled water that I buy for 40 cents for 5 gallons. I'll use that to take a bath with at the end of the day. What can I do? I can't fix it myself. And nobody answers the phone, and the field agents don't answer the thing. So, I mean, you know, this happens all the time, though. This is no water 4 days now for me, but last week, no water for anybody in my area for 2 days. So I just thought this was a general area blackout, no water. Okay, so that's another reason to prepare to be underwhelmed if you're moving to the Philippines. Now, the phone number part, where the woman in the water department gave me a landline for the water department, and let's just say her name was Beatrice. Okay? It wasn't, but let's just say her. So when I got home, I called up that number and asked for Beatrice, and she answered the phone. So I know that phone number was good 5 weeks ago, but now that number goes to the city. So this happens with 80% of all the numbers that you're going to put in your phone on January 21st, on January 1st of 2021, on January 1st of 2022, 80% of all those phone numbers are either not going to work any longer or have been transferred, or you get a different department. That's just the way it is. So there is no way to understand why that happens. We're talking about the numbers to the municipality change from month to month for the building department. The numbers for the water department have now changed 3 times in 6 months. And then now there is no number to the water department. And now the post office has to send a rep over to the water department to get a number for the field agent. Prepare. Steve Montelli had it right. Prepare to be underwhelmed. Now, internet. Now, we have a storm, so I would expect the internet to go out. But that's not so problematic as when I had low-speed internet and the internet went out, you still had phone service. In other words, they were still putting power through the phone line of the internet. Now I have 5G, super speed, but when the power goes out, you lose your phone. So now if there was an emergency, because the power went out, you would have no phone service. That's not supposed to happen. But when I called up, they said, yes, sir, that's the new system. I don't know if the person that said that lied. They know it's a fact. They think it's the way it should be, or they're just giving me lip service. I have no idea. So on top of that, sometimes you'll lose your service for a minute, and then everything has to restart in your modem, which takes 2 or 3 minutes. But sometimes you'll lose your phone service for the duration of the storm, and then some. So you may lose your phone service anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 or 3 hours, and up to 8 or 10 hours. And that's your internet and your phone service. Now, you should understand if you complain about that, don't bother. You're not gonna get a refund, and you're not gonna get any kind of a voucher for some time that you lost. So don't complain when the internet goes down, ever. Don't waste your time. Now, we had a legitimate earthquake here about 3.5 years ago, where the phone service, the electrical service, and the water service was off for 8+ days. 8 days. So I called up the internet service and said, can I get a credit? No, sir, you cannot get a credit until the bill drops. So when will that happen? So they said, whatever, the 1st of the month. So you call up on the 2nd of the month. Yes, sir, your bill has dropped, but then you have to wait 30 days after the bill is dropped to get a credit. So in 30 days, I called back and said, can I get a credit? Sir, you had to call up last month within 8 days of the time you lost your internet and got it back in order to get a credit. So it's a runaround, wasting your time. So they basically stole 1 week's services and charged you for it that you didn't get. They stole that from you. And as far as phone service, they have no call waiting. They have no call forwarding. They have no two-way calling on your landline. It's just a landline. So if you're on the landline, someone calls, it's a busy signal. Now, I don't know if there's an office version of your phone service, but I've never seen a call waiting phone with the button, like hold button. I've never seen that. So I don't know if one exists. So I wanted to buy a speakerphone so I could just hands down and talk through the speaker. They don't sell speakerphones in the Philippines anymore. Not through Lazada, not through Shopee, and not through Thinking Tools. So Thinking Tools is a big supplier of electronic hardware in ICM Mall. You can't get that. I'm going to go to my comments section and make sure I'm not being trolled. I have not opened up that part yet. I did, however, yeah, I saw your theory, Sem. Sem, you have a lot of theories. That theory that you sent me doesn't work at all. I don't want to get involved with that. I could read it. I mean, it's, in theory, see, Sem Lacron has a lot of theories. And he's always tried to help me. And he has been helpful in many ways. But in theory, I could use my credit card instead of my debit card. However, I would have to transfer funds from another place to put $4,000+ in my credit card. So right now, my credit card has like $3,000 on it. So I'm not going to take money from one place and lose money to put that money on my credit card. Now, I also called the bank. So to cover your theory session, Sim has a lot of theories. You have no idea. I called the bank, and the bank assured me that no one has ever been robbed from Lazada. That's never happened. However, it could take 8 to 15 days. That's what the bank said. So thanks for your credit card thing. I know all about the credit card. I've had a credit card for 30 years. I know all about it, but I bought a bunch of stuff last week and took my balance down to $3,000 on that credit card. Thank you very much, Sim. He has a lot of theories. And he's been very helpful in the past, but his theories overwhelm his help sometimes with response times. So if he sends me a theory and I have to type out a response, I've already tried all of that. I already know all of that. But he does have good theories, but they're time consuming. So I'll read them But if I don't respond to your theory from now on, we're going to call him Mr. Theory. If I don't respond to Sim's theories from now on, you know that I have already tried that theory and it was unsuccessful. But thank you for trying that. And also, Sim said that 45 business days could be 9 weeks, not 7 weeks. So I may be behind the 8 ball for 9 weeks of business days to get my 193,000 pesos back. However, I have plenty of money in that account. I will buy a different machine from a different company. At this point, I will not go back to the original company. The first company will have a review every day for the next 45 till after New Year's. I'll just put a quick 2 or 3 minute review for the Richmart company, which they will probably not appreciate, but that's their problem. And I will do a quick review on Lazada as soon as I finish getting my money back and ordering another machine through Lazada. I don't have a choice here. Shopee doesn't have the machine I want. They have the next size bigger, but it's 3-phase, 220 volts. You have to be careful, because if I buy a 3-phase machine, I have to put a transformer up on the telephone pole next to my house. That will be 150,000 pesos for an additional transformer. However, if I put a transformer up to make my input 3-phase, and I use, say, 3% of the power of the transformer, the hotel next door can tap into my 3-phase transformer and use as much power as they need for free without giving me any money. I've already looked into the 3-phase operation. So in theory, let's say you had a hotel and I put 3-phase up for the compressor for a scuba diving tank compressor, and I only use like 5% of the 3-phase power. Somebody can build a hotel next door and use 95% and not compensate me for my transformer. And when the transformer burns up, if the transformer ever burns up, I have to pay another $3,000 per transformer to replace that. It's hard living here. It's really hard living here. Now, moving on to the next subject, my TS400 still train saw, still street saw, I have all the parts, but I'll show you that it's raining pretty heavy outside. So that's why I'm not outside right now. And now it's slowed down, but you can see the droplets dripping down from the ceiling and hear the rain and the thunder. So it's not good for me to be outside working in the rain, and I'm really not going to put up a tarpaulin over my work area. I could, but then I would have to see the puddles. I'm done building temporary shelters for things. From now on, I'm going to start building permanent stuff. Alrighty. What else? Prepare to be underwhelmed. Do not pay anybody in advance for anything. Now, Lazada, I paid in advance because before I made the order, I spoke with my bank and asked them if they had any problem with Lazada refunds, and they said no. Now, this morning, after my live stream, I spoke with my bank, and I spoke with the second in charge, and Puti Ann, and she assured me that Lazada will always refund my money between 8 and 15 business days. So if put the and says that's what's going to happen, that's probably what's going to happen. So when I'm done with this live stream, because I can't work outside and I won't show you the inside of Cargo Can 1, my shop area. When I'm done with this live stream, my options are to buy another machine through Lazada, but I have to call up customer service. Oh, this is going to be fun. Before I buy the machine, you can buy the machine without calling customer service, but you won't be able to get a price for shipping. So I have to call up the customer service, give them the SKU number for the new machine I'm going to buy, and I haven't gotten my money back from my first machine. I have to give them the SKU number, find out the availability, and the cost of shipping, and the time stamp on shipping. And I'm also going to call Lazada to complain about Richmart Industries, how they scammed Lazada, and I'll inform them that I will start making videos about their company, 2 or 3 minute updates every day, until I feel comfortable that they have suffered some financial losses to the degree that of my time that they've wasted. And they have wasted my time, because now 100% in the email I showed you before, the order was canceled on the 22nd, and I spoke with 3 operators between the 22nd and today, and all 3, Raphael, Albert, and Jan, all 3 of them could not tell me that the order was definitely canceled. They all said, we're going to make sure the order isn't canceled. So three Lazada customer service representatives didn't know, couldn't find out, couldn't find the information that the order was canceled. So that was how many hours that you had to endure with me complaining about customer service. And those hours I billed them. Mentally, I bill them at $50 per hour. My time is worth a lot more than $50 per hour, but mentally, they're going to pay me $50 an hour. Now, they're not going to pay me any money, but I will put up a video as often as I have a chance to, a 2 or 3 minute video with an update. Not recommending Lazada in any way, shape, or form, and certainly Richmart Industries. They're working in conjunction with one another to steal not your money, but your time. And I see a super chat. My God. Thank you. Let's get over here. Sim. Let's get back. Let's get to the super. I got a pot. Oh, God. I do have a pot. No? I got to go get a pot. Louis Pagan Ponce. Thank you, Louis. I have the pot. I've given them an IQ. You know that woman, Kim, that I just spoke with, Rex, she said she knew her IQ. When I asked her if it was more or less than 56, she knew the IQ. She wouldn't tell me. So I kind of think, and when she told me she has 350,000 pesos in the bank, I don't believe she has that much, and I don't believe her IQ is more than 56. Well, maybe hers was, because she was the one who found the canceled order. So, but they are trained from day one to never admit guilt. They are not going to do that. I have a different option. I have a different opinion. When somebody is guilty, they should admit it and move on. It takes the air out of the balloon of the guilt. But, you know, we have creepy people out there that just refuse to admit that they're wrong and just go from day to day. They're fooling themselves, no one else. But Lazada is going to pay for this. Already, how many videos do I have up? But these are long videos with the title Lazada and the money on there. Whenever you see a Lazada video with money, that means they they stole my time or my money. And you're going to see that $10,000 in pesos. You're going to see that on every video I make for Richmart Industries and Lazada to show you that although they didn't steal money outright, they stole my time and my life force, which is worth something. It's worth more than they could compensate me for. And what about my aggravation? See, in America, if I took these people to court, I would win. They would have to compensate me for my time as a businessman. But here, it's not just me that has no rights to do that. Filipinos have no rights to do it either. A Filipino could not take Lazada to court and win a case. They don't have a grounds. They don't have legs to stand on. Lazada is not responsible. When you sign the bottom line, Lazada is not responsible for the shipper. And the shipper was the one who screwed me, but Lazada is responsible to do business with the shipper. So in fact, Lazada is responsible because they're doing business with an irresponsible shipper. But it's in their clause that they have no accountability. There's no resolve here in the Philippines. There's no resolve that my water's not working and I spent 20 minutes on the phone trying to call somebody. There's no resolve that your computer goes down, your internet goes down for 1 or 2 hours or 1 or 2 days, and you don't get compensated for it. There's no resolve that your modem breaks and you don't have service for 2 or 3 days. There's no resolve at all. You just eat it here. So a lot of people are going to come to the Philippines. Oh man, I'm sorry. You know what? When I called you about the water before, you have water. You know for a fact you have water. Is that correct? I have no water. I have no water. My meter is not broken. My pipe is not broken. My meter is not turning. So I'm trying to call the water department, but I pushed the wrong button. Okay? Okay. I will see you around. Okay? Salamat. Okay, guapo. Bye-bye. Oh, man. I pushed the wrong button. I made so many phone calls, but there's only one button, redial. But I have to re-input the number. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's an easy number. And another thing about the phones here, if you don't input the number fast enough, the number disconnects. It gives you a busy signal. So you have to put the numbers in the phone. You can't reach the subscriber. You have to put the numbers in the phone at their pace. So if you put the numbers in slowly, you're gonna. So let's get back to Louis Pagan Ponce. Louis, I know you're gonna hold on there for a minute. I'm gonna go get the pot. I'm going to get the pot. I'm going to bang the pot a lot. I might even put the pot on my head. I haven't put the pot on my head in a long time. So I'll be back momentarily. It's going to take... I got to open up cargo can 1. I'm not going to lock it down. The pot is ready. It's on the bench. It was filled with tools, but now it was emptied with the understanding it was coming into the house. But I never got it here this morning. We'll get the pot and we'll bang a lot. In honor of Louis, in honor of the Louis. We still have no water. Ah, that feels good already. Yeah, here it is. Pack. Here it is. In honor of the IQ. Less than rocks. IQ less than rocks, if you would believe it was possible. If you don't believe it's possible, got to move to the Philippines. See it in action. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that the guy did. I'll repeat what I said this morning. In when I called up the man at the water department, his first suggestion is always the suggestion they come up with. Sir, just go to the water department. Well, what does that mean to him? It means nothing to him. It means nothing at all to this ignorant employee of the water department in the Philippines. When they say, sir, just go to the water department, what they are truthfully saying to you is that, number one, they don't care about your time because they didn't even ask where you are in relationship to the water department. Number two, they don't care that you have to stop doing what you're doing and then get dressed and then transport yourself somehow to the water department. Number two. Number three, you may or may not get any resolve at the water department because the water department does not address water repairs. The water department and the repair department are two different departments. So I could go to the water department, but the facility that repairs the water lines, that's a different building in a different location. All I could do is go to the water department and make a complaint that I have no water and then hope that they transfer my complaint to the right department. So today, they gave me the water department's repair service, and they don't answer the phone. This is what you have. So that guy doesn't care how long it takes me. He doesn't care that I have to stop my work. It doesn't care that I have to stop if I'm working my job. He doesn't care that I lose. You're going to lose. Let's just say this idiot with an IQ of 12 that told me to just go to the water department. Let's say after 20 minutes to get the phone call, to get somebody to get the number, to go next door to the water department, to get a separate number for the water repair. Let's say that's 20 minutes. That's gone. That much of your life is gone. 20 minutes is gone of your life. You're not going to get that back. That's called life force. You don't get that back. So now I say, okay, I'll go to the water department. So it's going to take me 15 minutes to put everything that I have outside on the bench, because at the time, it wasn't raining. 15 minutes to put everything away. So that's 20, 35 minutes. 20 and 15 is 35 minutes. Now I lock up. I lock the gate, and I go up the block. That's 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes to walk up the block. That's 40 minutes. Now I got to get a tricycle or a motorcycle or a jeepney to Poblacion. That's another 10 minutes. That's 50 minutes. If I get one right away, it's so we're just going to round that off to be an hour. So I go to the water department, and then they tell me, sir, we have to get in touch with another department that is in a different building and a different telephone number. So what did I do? I just spent an hour to get there. I'll be at the water department because they're going to want to pull my file. And you know how the water department has my file? You won't believe it. A 5x7 index card with my name on it that I have paid for 1 year. Well, I paid for 1.5 years in advance. Wait, it gets better. It's a 5x7 index card with my name in it. That's written in pencil, lead pencil. So now that they know I have paid my bill, which was 1,500 pesos I gave them in advance. So that's 100 cubic meters. Now that they know that, then they'll go to their computer and see what the reading is for the water. And then they'll take a pencil and put the reading for the water meter onto the previous water meter reading in pencil. So let's round it off. I had 100 cubic meters I bought. I paid for 100 more cubic meters in advance. They go to the computer and see that I used 10 cubic meters. They take that number 10 and they take 10 cubic meters worth of money, 150 pesos, off of my 1,500 peso paid in pencil. That leaves me 1,350 pesos in credit. And they say, sir, now that takes about 15 minutes. By the time they get my card from their file cabinet, a file cabinet with a 5x7 index card, then they go to the computer, get the used amount, then they put it in pencil, they deduct it, how much it is, and then they tell me you have 1,350 pesos, and then they leave that 1,350 pesos there. They erase everything else with an eraser, and then they put 1,350 pesos of credit with today's date on it. And that's how they do the water bills in the Philippines in 2021. Come on. Why don't... Well, because the water is not expensive. I guess they can't afford to have a computer for everybody. I don't know. I don't know. You would think that the lady at the billing that does the addition and subtraction, you would think she would have a computer, but no. She has to go to a desk where there is a computer that's open for the 11 women that work in the water department. It's a common computer. That's why people move to the Philippines, and that's why some people move out of the Philippines, because if you have to deal with all of this stuff. Now, let's just say you had an apartment. Let's say you had an apartment. I had a beautiful apartment next door. Louis Pagan Ponce, here is your response. Coming up shortly, Louis. Let's say I have a beautiful apartment next door in the Stanley House. Magnificent, beautifully well-kept hallways and all the facilities, no cracked tile, no broken windows. Air conditioners way underpowered, not enough aircon in any of the rooms to keep the rooms cold on the side where the sun sets. The air conditioner sleeves were put in, and they used 3/4 ton air conditioning sleeve sizes when they should have used 1.5 ton air conditioning. So if you complain about that, instead of just punching a hole in the wall to make it bigger to put a 1.5 ton AC in, which you're paying for the electric, why wouldn't they just give you a bigger AC? Well, they don't do that. If you are not comfortable that I had the aircon running 24/7, 7 days a week, and in 3.5 years, at the middle of the night, it might get cool enough to be comfortable. If you're not happy with that, it's okay if you move. Instead of just putting a bigger aircon in, I'm paying for the electric, but it's okay that you move if you're not happy with the aircon rating. So, and if you think that my previous apartment, the aircon did not work, and it was sometimes a week or 10 days with no aircon, it's okay that you move. They don't care about you. And my first apartment in Alona Beach was the Nazi. When I looked at the apartment, it had aircon up in the wall. I had to give him 17,000 pesos rent, 17,000 pesos security, and that was it. 17,000 pesos for the security. No deposit. Now, it has aircon. The man, the Nazi, he walked over to the aircon and turned it on and said, the aircon is cold. And he put his hand up there, and I put my hand up there. So I'm there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He shows me the apartment. It's acceptable. It's clean. It's got a nice view. I'll take it. I go downstairs to sign the contract with his wife, and I had 2 suitcases that I had brought with me, and I'm walking up the stairs with one of them because I couldn't carry both of them up at the same time. The stairs were narrow. Outside staircases were narrow, but they were heavy because they had all my dive gear and stuff in them. And as I'm walking up, I get to the second floor, and he's got an air conditioner on his shoulder. And there was 2 apartments on the second floor. And when I walked into the bedroom, when I walked into the room where my apartment was, there was a hole in the wall. And I'm looking at the hole in the wall. He took the air conditioner out. And when I signed the contract, I gave them the deposit. I wanted the apartment. He took the aircon out of my apartment, and I said, I went downstairs to get my second suitcase. I said, what's up with that? He goes, well, if you want aircon, you'll have to buy an air conditioner for your apartment. Hoping that I would buy an air conditioner, and then I wouldn't be able to take it with me when I left. I don't know. This guy was a scam from day one. He was okay. He brought me to Balikasag Island many times for free on his boat, and he lent me anything I ever needed except a motorcycle. He rented those, but I never rented a motorcycle. But he took the air conditioner out and said, you have an air conditioner hole. I said, but you showed me the aircon, it was cold. Yes, sir, it was cold. If you want this air conditioner, you can rent this from us. I said, nah, well, let me see how that works out. I would have just bought my own aircon and brought it with me to my next apartment, but I never did. Him, I had to call the police on at the end of the rental to get my money back, and he gave it back to me. But I had to call the captain of the Panglao Police Department, who I had become friends with, to come there to find out why he didn't want to give me back my money. He didn't want to give me back my money because this is what he does. He'll start an argument with you, and then he won't want to give you back your money because you talked nasty to him. Nasty. That was his interpretation. The guy was freaking another fraud, and he was a Nazi fraud. So Louis Pagan Ponce. Jesus, thanks you, Louis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Salamat, Louis Pagan Ponce. Oh boy, it feels good to have the pot back where it belongs, in the super chat. Oop. That pot was full of tools, and for weeks, the tools I was going to use on the bench for that day, I had that pot. I was using it. No special reason. It just happened to be there. I have lots of buckets to put stuff in. But I have lots of things I rebuild. Like now I'm getting ready to rebuild my Echo blower. As soon as I get that Still TS400 put together, which might happen today, I might just make this live stream go outside. I'll see how if it stopped raining, I have everything set. The comic relief, says Louis Pagan Ponce. No. So far, Louis, I should videotape it the next time I go in to pay a bill. It's in pencil. They do the calculations in pencil, and then they leave the calculation up that is my credit, and they erase everything else, and then they put the credit up at the top and erase the lower bottom number. This has been going. I have the same card now for 3.5 years. Same card, same exact card. No, it's only got this much stuff on it. It has my name, my address, my phone number, both cell numbers. This is how they do it. This is how they do it. I never thought to tell you people this, but this is how it's done. Now, in the computer, they have the proper water usage. And another thing, once my water bill went down to like where I had only 1 month in advance, and I said to them, what would have happened? You don't call me up and tell me there's only a month left. They don't know that. There's no red flag that it comes up. It'll just come up that you owe them money. They won't shut your water off for, well, they said they wouldn't shut my water off no matter how many months went by. They just said they wouldn't shut it off unless the water meter man came and saw a break in the line or something like that. Then they'll shut it off, or abnormal usage. But they won't shut it off. Now, even the electric company, my bill in the electric company I pay in advance for as much as 6 months in advance. I give them 15,000 pesos in advance. So once I forgot that how long it was, but also once when I went away for 2 days, I tell you, everything you buy here is garbage. The freezer door came ajar, opened. So the freezer stayed open for 2 days. I went away for a couple of days. So that used up like 2,000 pesos worth of electric. So I was off by a month, and then I forgot by a month, so I owed them 2 months of electric, which came out to about $100. They didn't shut the electric off. When I went there, they just said, you have a back bill of 5,000 pesos. Right? So I gave them the money, but they never shut my electric off. Not me. I don't know about anybody else. But now, let me tell you how the electric department treats me now. Because I pay for 6 months in advance plus, when I sit down in my chair, you take a number at the electric department. And let's say I'm number 10 and there's 9 people ahead of me. Well, each person is going to go up to the desk and give them their name on a piece of paper, and they're going to find out what their bill is, and they're going to pay it. With me, when I get to the desk, my bill is on the desk. They give it to me. They already know who I am, so they look it up while they're doing other stuff, and they put it on a piece of paper. You owe 2,350 pesos, and I just pay 2,350 pesos. I am at their desk for 45 seconds to a minute, where everybody else is up there for 5 or 6 minutes. So they treat me very good at the electric company and at the water company also, but they will not shut my electric off. Well, they haven't, with 2 months back electric, they didn't shut it off. So there are positive benefits of them knowing who you are. Okay, so as far as Louis Pagan-Ponce thinking that the IQ system is generally a comedic idea, you have no idea what it's like working with these people. I mean, when I told that guy I don't want to go to the water department because it'll take 2 hours round trip, he goes, "Yes, sir, just go to the water department." It's as if he didn't hear me. I just hung up. What am I going to argue with? A guy that doesn't listen, or a guy that's not smart enough to understand? Well, am I going to educate him? No. Just get used to it. Hold on a minute. We have mail. We have mail going back and forth about several different. I can't tell you this fella. First of all, Sim and I have been friends for a long time. This thing where I said Sim has a lot of theories. Sim spends an inordinate amount of time on theoretical YouTube stuff. He just sent me a message that he had tears coming out of his eyes because he knows how I feel about his theories. But in general, Sim is a very generous and he's a good man and a good man. So let's find out what that comment was. So he goes, I could see you trying to hold back a retort. No, I'm not going to retort Sim. I like Sim. If I like you, or if I won't talk bad about you if I like you. If I don't like you, and I have an agreement to never talk bad about you of anything that happened in the past, I won't talk bad about you about that either. I happen to be able to keep my agreements very well. Even if I make a prediction, because they used to call me, they called me a lot of things, but one of my nicknames was the Predictor. And that wasn't because I had a Predictor Philco television set. It was because I could predict the exact moment when certain things were going to happen. To within a minute here or a minute there, I could predict the exact moment when certain things were going to happen in the future. And I could predict the future to a great degree. And they would say, how do he know? How do he know? That's why they called me the Predictor. So Sim is just somebody that I would never negatively retort. Because I like Sim. He's on my side. On my side. That's different than me not knowing whose side you're on. He's on my side. So, and as if we did have an argument, it would just be between him and I. And that would be it. But probably we won't ever have an argument because Sim has his ways and his theories, and they are many. And I have my ways and my theories. And we come from two different parts of the world. Sim is a very forgiving, for the most part, an understanding person and wants to look at the glass being half full. And me, I want to look at it from the point of view that I already know where this is going. So we might as well cut through the chase. And when I do that, and I have planned to do that shortly, you'll know when it occurs. It won't be a. There's no intermediary with me. It's either hot or cold, on or off. There's no in between. I'm like Lazada. I have let Lazada slide up until today. Lazada has been sliding. They're backsliding, but they've been sliding. When I go in deep on Lazada, it will be after I receive my second machine and my refund. Then Lazada will know how upset I was and what they cost me. And they won't have a resolve. Not like the last company in the Philippines that literally stole 81,000 and change pesos from me because of improper bills of lading and improper hold times for my cargo can 2 being held up at the import in Cebu. And by the way, Sim, Alibaba was a good idea, except that Alibaba, I've already done that with their, whatever you spend in Alibaba, this is for you people in general. I bought machines in Alibaba. I bought them. I ordered them, and I got a bill of lading for $4,000 for the machines, and then I got an approximate bill of $4,000 to bring the machines into the Philippines, but there was no bottom line. It could still fluctuate up or down $1,200, and it's never going to go down. So it could have been $5,000 of import fees to buy $4,000 worth of machines. However, 2 of those machines, the handheld cutter and the handheld rebar bender, I can buy from Lazada for $1,000 each, which means that Alibaba was charging me $1,000 for each machine, $2,000, but they were charging me plus $2,000 to bring it in for import fees. So now I'm paying $2,000 for a $1,000 machine, but I buy it on Lazada, I pay $1,000 including shipping. So your idea for Alibaba, theoretically, it was good, but apparently you haven't. This is Sim's fault. You have not reviewed all of my live streams. And I don't want to hear that some of my live streams are 9 hours. It's your job to review my 9-hour live stream and know what I have said previously for the last year. And then you should make an assessment of a proper way to work around or go around. So you dropped the ball by not listening to my 9-hour live stream that I had that information in. So you could do what the Mr. Beach Man does. The beach man, the guy who goes to the beach all the time. You could do what the beach man does. You can put it on double speed, and you can review it on double speed while you're doing your work. And hopefully you'll have the wherewithal to hear the part where I said Alibaba is charging double. If failing that, then I could theoretically hold you, in theory, I could hold you responsible for giving me bad information after I've already tried that information and it doesn't work. Now, I can't hold you accountable for monies. I could deduct that time that you wasted for me to respond to your comment from the gifts that you have given me in the past. I could do that because Sim has given me some very hard to get items in the past that have a certain value, and then I could remove some of the value of those items for wasting my time to talk about his theories. But I won't do that because I like Sim. So whatever you gave me in the past still maintains its intrinsic value, whatever that is now. And whatever you do in the future, I would suggest you listen to my 3 to 4 or 5 hour live streams that are on 2 or 3 hours a day. And if you have to, take notes. Because there might be a quiz. And there might be consequences. There always can be consequences. The consequences could be minimal, and they could be, I will take you up on one of your offers, and you will have to buy me more free stuff, more pasalubong. Thank you very much. Sim. Salamat. Well, anyway, of course, that was all theoretical comedy, but Sim is my friend, and he's always been helpful to me in the past. And his theories are valid theories. Had I never bought anything from Alibaba, I wouldn't know that his theory is worthless. Oh, I have 100 hours dealing with Tiffany from Alibaba. Sim, what I'm going to do, if you shoot me out a mail or message here, I'll send you my email between myself and Tiffany that lasted about 3 weeks to see what's really going on with the with Alibaba. It's impossible to import stuff from Alibaba. Shipping has gone up 3 times, 4 times the price from China. Cargo containers are now, they went from $4,000 per container up to $18,000 per container to ship from China to Canada. I don't know about the Philippines. I've never been above Lansing, Michigan, you downstater. I've been in the UP. That's above Lansing. I don't know. That was back when I owned property in Michigan in 1990, 91, 92, 93, like that. That's 20 years ago, my friend. And I was chauffeured around when I did go up to those places. I was just basically company for a friend of mine that had to do business up in the UP. Nothing more. And I lived in his house, so when he said, let's go to the UP, what do I know? He said, pack. It's going to get cold. That was all I knew. And it got cold, but it was a beautiful place. But Lansing, Michigan. I did date a girl from, Michigan. Oh, God. Traverse City back in the 80s and the 90s. When I bought property up in Michigan, I swore I would never marry anybody that wasn't brought up on a farm in Michigan. They were the most wonderful girls I ever dated. They could all relate to working men. They were all very, very, very highly intelligent college graduates. They were wonderful people, the people in the Midwest, in Traverse City back in the 80s and 90s. I always wanted to marry a girl from Michigan. Now, that would still be on the table. But getting married here in the Philippines, not so much. Not so much. Probably not going to happen. And I don't care at this point. It makes no difference to me. I don't need to be coddled by some woman at a rate of 20, 25, 30,000 pesos a month to have somebody to talk to. I don't need that. And I probably won't get married. My plans for being married have come and gone. Probably, I thought about it before I moved to the Philippines. I thought about it when I got here. But shortly after living here, and long before I met Daisy, I had already decided that marriage in the Philippines was not an option for me, and that if I ever did decide to get married, it would have to be to a woman that had a decent education, but the only reason to get married would be to have children. And then after the woman gave me 2 healthy children, then I would contemplate marriage, but I probably would not get married. But only for that reason would I ever get married in the Philippines. Wouldn't matter how much money she has, wouldn't matter how pretty she was, it wouldn't matter what her education is at this point. None of that matters. You give me 2 healthy children. We have 2 healthy children. I will contemplate marriage if you don't lose your mind for 5 or 6 days a month when you have your woman cycle. Because that stuff, for some reason, drives women out of their mind, and then they believe it's their duty to drive you into the insane asylum because they can't remember things, because they get stuff mixed up, because they want to fight about this or argue about that. Or you tell them, look, I sent you on Facebook the information you requested, and they have that woman's 7-day cycle, and they say, no, you didn't send it. And you tell them, wait, look underneath, and you give them the date. You go on Facebook and you give them the date in Messenger that you sent it. You never sent it. Yeah, it's the first sentence of the first link I sent you on June 1st. It's there. And then they hang up. But before they hang up, they go, Sabah, 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 which means you're making noise. You're lying. You're interfering with something that's going on inside their brain because they have that woman cycle. You think I'm going to put up with that? I'm not. I won't do that. I tried that. I tried that several times in my life. When the woman loses their mind, when they have their cycle, typically it's a short-lived relationship because there's no logistics to it. There's no logic to it. It's an illogical conversation. Now, when that girl in June hung up, Sabah, 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 and she hung up, well, I never called her back. What do I care? I mean, we dated for quite a while, but what do I care if she ever calls me back? See, I'm not beholden to anybody here in the Philippines, women or men. I'm an independent. So when she didn't call me back in June, and she didn't call me back in July or August or September or for my birthday, because it shows up on Facebook, my birthday, or October, or all of September, or October, about a week ago, she called up and said, hello. Who is this? I mean, I forgot your name. This is so-and-so. Wait, is this the girl that hung up on me on June 1st? Yeah. So did you call up to apologize? No. Click. We're done. She didn't call up to apologize. She called up for me to apologize to her because she got mad at me. That didn't work out well at all. So I don't know where she is or what she's doing now, and I don't care. But no woman ever had a hold on me where I kissed the ground that their feet walk across. That just doesn't happen. And I've been with rich women and beautiful rich women. I don't care. I've been with women that begged me to marry them, that had $13 million in the bank. Her father was the president of Queens County Savings and Loan. It's a huge bank in Jamaica, in Queens. Not only that, but I saw her bank account. Not only that, we used to go into the bank back in the mid 80s. We would go into the bank, into the vault, and throw bundles of money at each other. And she would go, that pile over there, that's mine. It was all hers. Her father was the president of 13 banks, Queens County Savings and Loan Banks. And she had in her personal bank account $13 million. And she begged me to marry her. And I said, no, because she couldn't have children. And I said, no, you can't have children. She goes, what does that mean? We can have so much fun for the rest of our lives. I said, no, if I'm going to get married, I want to have children. She couldn't understand that. She literally smashed into my car with her Mercedes-Benz when I was leaving for Florida in 1991. She literally cut me off and smashed into my car because she didn't want me to leave. She's a nutcase. She was pretty. She was definitely cool to hang out with, but she couldn't give me kids. So what do I need her money for? What was she going to let me have children with somebody else? I don't know. But you can't bind me up with money. You can't bind me up with promises that you don't keep, and you certainly can't bind me up with threats. That works out to the least of my problems and the biggest of your problems. That does not work well. So as far as me caring about whether or not I get married in the Philippines, you keep hearing this crap. You're single, you're alone. I'm alone because I choose to be alone. Nobody there to get aggravated with. Nobody there to tell somebody something 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 times to do something when they know I want them to do it. And the reason they don't do it is because they know I want them to do it and they're going to push my button. No, go push somebody else's button. So the girl in June that I only dated briefly, she hung up on me and she called me back about 2 weeks ago and said, hello. Hello? Are you calling to say you're sorry? No. And I hung up. Now, I haven't heard from her since. Now, I may never hear from her, and I don't care. Was she pretty? She's pretty. But why would I want to deal with that? She's going to get mad at me and then hang up on me, and then she wants me to apologize to kiss her butt? That's something that people from Canada do. Or people from... Weak men do that. Alpha males don't kiss up to women because women get mad and want an apology because they got mad. And they're wrong. Beta males do that. Beta cuck males. That is true. Beta cucks. And most of those beta cucks, from what I see, come from Canada. Especially one. That guy is in, I won't even tell that guy what he's in for when he gets to the Philippines. And I will tell that cuck from Canada, while I'm on the subject of cucks from Canada, I will tell him that you have been told the truth of what you're getting involved with, but not all of the truth. The truth goes so much further than what has been told you. Now, you may know the truth. Maybe the girl that you have been cuckolded to has told you the truth and you're okay with her past. And maybe not. But if you knew the truth, at least you would have the ability to make a logical decision. But right now, I doubt very much you know the truth. I won't say the truth because I can't prove it other than third-party hearsay. But third-party hearsay has facts of conversations and emails and pieces of conversations that I've had over the years that if you knew the truth, I think you would reassess the situation. And if you didn't reassess it, well, then mentally, not only are you a weak person, but you'll make the perfect cook hold. You'll make the perfect one. Because the wool has been pulled over your eyes if you don't know the truth. And if you know the truth, then there's something wrong with you in your head for allowing that many things to fly by under the radar. And you know who I'm talking about. The cuck from Canada. You have no idea what you're getting involved with. None at all. Not a clue. Think about how many different people have told you almost the same thing, and you refuse to believe it or you don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. I'll laugh at you at the end of the day when you find out the truth. And you'll say, just like the last guy that contacted me, and I did not tell him the truth. He called me up and asked me if what he heard was true, and I just said yes. I refuse to tell people the truth. I'm just letting you know, cuck from Canada, you are so in over your head, you have no idea what the truth is. And if it's okay for you, it's okay for me. Cuck from Canada, who allows people to talk crap about me on your channel. Cuck from Canada. From Louis Pagan Ponce. Faz tremendas. Thank you, Louis. Why would I care if I was above Lansing, Michigan? No. Supercenter can't withhold my money. It has to do with, they can't withhold my money. It's Lazada. They can't do that. I mean, if Lazada withholds my money, then I can get a lawyer and get my money. Let's go outside and go to work. Cuck from Canada, you are being hoodwinked. You are in over your head. You are dealing with the mentality of a professional Filipina. And that means that she's a lot smarter than you could ever hope to be, dude. It's going to cost you time and money, angst, and aggravation at the end of the day. And I will be the one to laugh. And you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, there have been several people over the last few months that have straight up given you the facts, and you just refuse to believe it. I don't like you because you allow people to talk crap about me on your channel. I don't like you at all, not one bit, and that's why I won't send you a personal message on your channel, because I don't like you. I'm going to let you fall into that trap because I don't like you that much. Cuck from Canada. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, it took a while to get you off of that. Boy, you have a lot of channels, dude. Let me have my last drink of water. I'll go set you up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What I should have did, damn it. Give me 2 minutes here. I don't know what I should have did. I have an hour and 25 minutes. I still have 82% of power. I know what I could do while it's charging up. 2 more orders came from Shopee. Boy, I wish Shopee had a rebar bender. I would buy it from them. I don't know what this is. Looks like the bicycle repair kit. the bicycle tire repair kit. Huh. Oh yeah, the sun is coming out. Yep. So the sun should be out at least until 3 o'clock. So I'm going to let that charge up a little bit. Yeah, not the kit I ordered. Well, this is an on-the-road kit. This has what they call spoons. Because I got the bicycle running yesterday. I went and picked up gas with the bike. So it has a scratch for the tube, glue, and two oblong patches. And then it has something called spoons. They're little metal, aluminum. They look like two small spoons, and that keeps the tire. They're smooth like a spoon, and you can pull the tire out of the rim. You can pull the tube out of the rim and the tire, and then you don't have to use screwdrivers. So this kit, usually you put it on a bag on the back of the bike, but I'll put it inside something else. You attach it to your seat or something. So, I got this, and I also have 5 extra tubes of glue. This was $4 for this kit, $4. So that Shopee has been pretty reliable, actually. When all things considered, Shopee has been very reliable. So I'm gonna cut this down. I'm gonna leave it in its package. Now I'm gonna take this out of here. Whoa. 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 Oh my God. We have all kinds. Thank you, Flying Circus. So I'm going to take this package here. I'll leave it in this original plastic. I will, what I'll do is put it back into this orange bag here as a waterproofing agent. Then I'll put rubber bands around it. To hold it in place. Okay, thank you, Flying Circus. Yeah, and as far as the mail that you got before, if you have any questions personally, I'd be happy to talk to you through email, of course. Although I know Flying Circus for many, many years, we are still on an email only basis, and that's okay with me. I don't care about that. There's a lot of people I talk to. I have no idea who they are. Nor do I want to know who they are. I'm not to inquire as to who somebody is when they want to remain anonymous. Oh, this bag is open on the back end. That's why it keeps popping out of there. Okay. It's got a double bottom here. Okay, let's do it like this. Oh, boy. I'm going to go outside and work on the... I'm going to go outside and work. I'm going to put my TS400 still sort together. But I'm probably going to be on a separate live stream. I just want to do that as one live stream. Which means I'll have to end this live stream and start another. Now I'll put this, the reason I'm spending so much time with this, because I do 10 kilometer road trips on my bicycle, and I'm going to tape this to the bottom of that bracket on the back of my motorcycle, and I'll tape it to the bottom of the bracket. And when I do that, I'm only going to take it off one time to do a repair. I'll have glue. This glue will remain fresh for quite a long time, a year. And once I open this up to do a repair on the bicycle tire, then I have 5 more tubes stored in plastic in my shop that will, I'll replace the tubes of glue, the 1 tube of glue with a fresh tube. So right now, this has become, once again, a waterproof package for rain or whatever elements are in the Philippines. And when I tape it to the back of the bicycle seat, to the bracket, it can get wet. And it will remain intact. It'll be a pain in the neck to open up on the road, but it won't get water in it. And that's how I do it. Because when you're on the road, now the other thing I'll need, of course, is a bicycle pump. But the original bicycle pump that came with that bicycle in 1981, 82, 83, I forget. I have that bicycle pump in cargo can 1. But it would still be necessary to have a patch kit. So I have a patch kit. And now we open up the big one here. This is a water pick made by Jetpack. I don't know. It's made by Jetpack or it's a water pick made by Waterpick and sold by Jetpack. I don't know. I'm just killing time till the sun comes out. So is it a real water pick? It's an oral irrigator made by Nice Feel Oral Irrigator. Now, is it 110 or 220? Well, anyway, no matter how much you brush your teeth, and no matter how much dental floss, I don't use dental floss. Well, you use these little, they sell these little toothpicks, which I do use, that have dental floss on them. It's like a pick, and it's got a little floss. Got to be careful when you're using dental floss. If you have a cavity that extends past the top of the tooth and you use dental floss and you pull it too hard, you can pull the cavity, the filling, out of your teeth. You got to be careful with that. That's happened. And then immediately the nerve is exposed. And when that happens, you fall down onto your knees, wishing you didn't do that. And then you would look for the pain medication and a bottle of 80 proof alcohol, because that's what you're going to need once the nerve is exposed. 80 proof alcohol. Just take that bottle and tip it upside down with 4 ibuprofen or 4 Tylenol. Even though you're not supposed to drink alcohol with Tylenol, that nerve is going to say, you need alcohol. I want alcohol in my body. That happened to me once before. I'm very careful when I floss my teeth now. In fact, I don't floss my teeth, as I just said. Okay, I want to fill this up. Yeah, adios. Adios, Mata. Wow, the trolls are big today. No, Louis Pagan Punts. No. Mark is not that. Mark is not. Motherfucker is part of the Fat Slob Army. He's one of the head trolls on the Fat Slobs channel. That's a fact. I've seen him there for. I haven't been to the Slobs channel in a long time, but I've seen him there before. Many. I think like when he first came on, I was there the first day he came on. Boy, he doesn't just kiss the buttocks of the slob. He puts a lip lock on the rim of the slob's buttocks, and and then creates a vacuum. That guy is a professional. And until he got a wrench, he did that every day. And how he did it, he sent the slob $1, $2, $3, until the slob got used to his name, and eventually the slob gave him a wrench. So Madapaka is a part of the slob army. I'm doing this because I want to make sure it works. So the reason I bought a water pick is because I'll tell you right now, no matter how clean you brush your teeth, and brush your teeth after every meal, no matter how clean that you get it, there's always pieces of debris, food debris, in between your teeth. And I had a water pick for years. I always had a water pick. And then they don't make water picks like they used to, I'll tell you that. I'll show you how this works. And what you can and can't do with it. You want to listen to my instructions. You really want to listen to my instructions. When it comes to water picks, you do not want to let the motor run dry, run out of water. That'll happen once for a few seconds, maybe 40 seconds, and then you take the water pick when it stops pumping, and you pick it up and you walk it over to the garbage. I have 2 of them outside, not because of that reason, but I have two outside. Neither one of them ran out of water. The pumps in these water picks, they just don't last. Number one, they don't last. And number two, if you let them run dry, you have about a few seconds and then you throw it out. You can't let it run dry for like a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Few seconds, maybe it's going to work the next time you turn it on. But 45 seconds, probably not going to work. So don't let it run dry. Not if you want to use it tomorrow. Now I'm going to get some water. Put it in there. Is it 110 or 220? I think it's 220. Oh boy. Where is English instructions? Preparing the reservoir. Oh yeah. I'll show you in a minute. This is the reservoir. You have to put water in here and then lock it down. Lock it down. See how it's right there? Now watch what happens when I push it down. It has to lock down. Watch. When you just drop it in place with water, it's not locked down. Now it's locked down. That's what will allow the water to go into the motor. If you don't lock it down, in 45 seconds, pick the unit up and bring it over to the garbage. It comes with a bunch of different types of tips. You'll have to figure out which one is best for you. I don't know whether it's 110 or 220 yet. Should be the first thing on the first page, but it's not. No, it's not. Here it is on the bottom, maybe. 110 or 240 volt, made in China. Okay, so 110 or 240 means it will take 110 or 240, and there's no There's no 110 or 240 switch. So we're going to plug this in. Whoa, we're not plugging it in. It's one of those stupid plugs. And I removed all of those stupid plugs. Usually the first thing I do is remove one of it's the European plug with the round tangs on it, the round blades. And I have an adapter here, but I'm not sure if it's, no, it won't. I have an adapter inside the container. I don't have a round plug there. I don't have a round plug up there. You guys are going to have to wait. This is the plug they sent me. I have an adapter in my shop somewhere. I'm not going in there for that. See, so you put these different tips on here. I have a non-rubberized tip. One thing I suggest is you use warm water. Blowing cold water on your teeth won't hurt you, but it hurts. Sometimes it hurts. Now, where do you stick this? On the water pick, they have a stand. Oh, okay, here's the stand right here. So there's a little pin over here. Pop it in here. And that's how it goes. So I'll put the water pick on tomorrow. I have to go find that adapter. I probably won't use that, but let's see what I should do. I have plugs here somewhere. I might just cut that garbage plug off of there. Yeah, I think I will. I'll perform surgery right now. I have a whole stock of plugs. I have an adapter right here. Okay. I won't perform surgery on this right now. I still have to put water in there. Remember, if you don't put water in there, throw it out. 45 seconds. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk over to it, pick it up, throw it out. Okay, so you put the top on here like this. It's gonna set down, but not all the way. There's gonna be a space here. There's gonna be a space here. You have to take the top and clamp it down with your hand. Boom. Smack it down hard and it locks in. Okay? Here's a place for the... Oh, look at this. In the top, they have a nice little place to store your extra water picks. That's nice. Okay, let's put those in there. And I never saw that before. I was wondering where to put those. Okay. All right, so let's get the... This is the spoon to clean your tongue and the back of your throat. This is a bigger one, bigger nozzle. Oh, they gave extra, huh? Here's one with a little brush on it. And here's one with a little rubber. All right. Well, they don't all fit in here, though. Two of them stay on the outside over here. I'm never going to use this one with the brush, that's for sure. And rarely do I ever use the tongue blender thing, but I'll leave that out here. Close this up. Snap it down. Louis Pagan Ponce, thank you. Let's bring this over here. Let's get some water in there, right? Put the water in before you turn on the unit. Remember, I told you to put the water in first. If you forget, this unit was $35. If you forget, this is why I don't use these plugs. Look at this. It has there's no connection inside. So here's what we're going to do. Watch what I do. I'm going to make magic. I'm going to make magic. In my storage of my plug box, I have a plug, a new plug. I always keep 4 or 5 of these on hand. I'm going to make magic. I'm going to splice and dice. I'm going to splice and dice this plug. And I'm going to throw this piece of garbage right out. So I'm going to take my little cutters. I have no use for this plug at all. I have 2 more inside my shop that are much longer. That's garbage. These are 32 pesos, 32 cents a piece, 17 pesos, 34 cents a piece. I'm going to get a screwdriver. I'm going to put this back in my box. Now, I could have made that work. I could have made that plug work. I could have bent those round tangs to where they made contact inside the female part of the plug. But then every time I go to use the water pick, it'll either work or it won't work. Because that whole system, that whole European plug is just garbage. I mean, it was garbage when they made it, and they never stopped making it, and it's garbage still to this day. So we're going to open up this plug here. Thank you, Lewis. Let me get a pot. Let me just... You got to be careful. It has a little nut on the back. It's going to fall out when you unscrew it. And then you got to go find another plug or tape the plug back together. Now inside here are two brass coated screws. Take those out somewhat, maybe 2 turns. Not so much, because if they fall on the floor, then you got to go search for them. All right, it looks like you could open them up 4 turns. Now I got to take this off here at the end here. Now normally I take those outside ones off all the way. And that's what I'm going to have to do today. Because the way they made this, is they made it so that the plastic doesn't slide past the screws. Not a problem, but if I would have tried to pry on it, probably would have broke the piece. So I'll just put it back together. Now put the screws all the way in like that. Strip it out at the end, which I just did. Put this all the way back in. Strip it out at the end. Then when I go to put it back in, it'll work. So next is to take a knife Now I have my pocket knife here. Actually, this is my, I think this knife was from the Boy Scouts. Well, I was never a Boy Scout. But it was a Boy Scout kind of knife when we were kids. I had it a long time. Okay. Louis Pagan Puns. Let me get rid of the garbage that's in my pot. Thank you, Lewis. Banging a pot. Made a lot. Made banging a pot. Thank you, Louis Pagan Ponds. Oh, that's right. Christmas is coming, baby. Salamat. Thank you, Lois. Now, I cut this open. I don't want to knock these pieces on the floor. Then I got to go looking for, I have to open up another one. We'll tape it shut. So. All right, so you want to get about 2 inches. 2 inches of wire, at least. I just went way over because it split. It split on itself. That's okay. Split on itself. So you want to get about 2 inches of wire with the copper in it out. Now you want to, here's what you want to do. You want to measure how much you're going to put the white part with the shielding in here. It's going to stay with the shielding inside this plug. Now, so now you see at about 3/8 of an inch, you want to strip the wire back. You don't want to pull all the shielding off of here just yet. I'll show you why in a minute. So let's cut this as extra that we don't need because, like I said, it went farther than I had planned. Now we want to leave the insulation at about 3/8 of an inch. We want to pull the insulation off from about the 3/8 of an inch mark out. Okay, like that. You want to leave it just like that too. Whoop. It's okay that it went more. It's all right. Now we want to do the same thing on the other side. There's a way to do this, but for me to start giving you a lesson in splicing cable probably won't work. So the reason I wanted to leave some shielding on or insulation on is so I could twist it, but this is a small wire, so I'll twist it by hand. Pick this up. Put this wire around the terminal screw. That's why you twist it. Bring it back around like that, and one full turn. So it's like that. One full turn underneath the screw, and you want to do it in a clockwise rotation so that when you tighten the screw, it's tightening the wire, not loosening it up. So clockwise, 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 and it only has to be snug. It's only less than an ampere, 1 amp motor. It only has to be snug. It does not have to be firm. Now you do the same thing with the second wire. Bring it up to the terminal screw, like that. Put it underneath the terminal screw on that side there, like that. Put it underneath the terminal screw. And then turn it one time around. Put both wires down into the trough right here like that. And then go clockwise with the screwdriver. And that it should look like this. When you're done, it should look like this. It should look like this. It's tightened on both sides of the screw. This stuff was extra, so we're going to cut that off because it was extra long on that side. We don't need that. Got to be careful with those little pieces. You don't want to put them on your pillow or where you're going to be walking. So I threw it outside. Okay, so in theory, if it looks like this, it's good enough. This is wrapped around one full turn. This is wrapped around one U-turn. Either way works. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to cut this excess brown off of here. No, that can't be Matapaka because Flying Circus has a wrench. Now you want to put this back on top of here, this clamp. You understand? The Flying Circus has a wrench. And I know who Flying Circus is. Then it can't be a troll, right? Okay, so the finished product should have the sheath under the clamp in the back here. This is the clamp. Should be underneath the clamp, the sheath, the insulation, just enough to twist it and bring it back. I know it's you, Flying Circus. What trolls do. Now we have to put this back together. Trying to undermine our see, this is the difference between myself and many other YouTubers. Somebody else may have had to go to the store to get an adapter that's a piece of garbage, or go to the store and go buy one of these plugs. So it would cost 35 cents for the plug and an hour of your time and then 3 miles on your vehicle. So it costs $1 a mile for a vehicle. An hour of your time is worth 50 bucks. It costs you $60 to not have a plug in stock. And I have more plugs in stock. I think I have one more of those in this box here. I have a plug for a light bulb. I have not one, but 2 more plugs, new. I have an industrial grade 15 amp plug, new. I have a 3rd plug here, new. So let me put I have an inline switch here. In case I want to put a light hanging from the ceiling, I have an inline switch. I have one plug, 1, 2, 3. 3. One outlet for a light bulb. And then in stock, a 15 amp plug for 110 or 220, and an adapter, another switch, inline switch, and another adapter. See, one thing that you people that you come on my channel and troll me, that I'm not a contractor, I don't know what I'm doing. You show me another YouTuber that when he says he's going to go into a shop to bring out a 3/8 galvanized steel bolt or a 1/8 inch national fine bolt with 2 washers, 2 bronze washers, and enough. You show me somebody else that can do that. Nobody could do what I do. Nobody in the Philippines could even come close to my skill sets, my knowledge in construction, or my ability to perceive what I'm going to need in the future and have it ready for each job that I go to apply the work to. Nobody can do that except me. Flying Circus. I can prove that it's Flying Circus. I just ask them to email me. But I already talked about our emails between one another. I'm not going to ask them to do it because I know it's Flying Circus. But I do want to go check my email, so I'll be with you in a minute. I just want to check. Shopee asks me if I got the order. You got to confirm that you got the order. It only takes another few seconds. Hold on a minute. They're very good about following up with your orders if you didn't get it on time, and it's just taking a minute here to load. And then we're going to load up the water pick. Right now we're going to do that. Notifications. Okay. Apparently, that email, I must have answered that already. Well, I'm not going to. We're going to the water pick, back to the water pick. So before you plug it in, make sure it has water in it, or plug it in, but make sure it's off. And I don't know which position is off. So I'm going to put water in it first. I'm also going to, I'm not going to do this every time. The lock for here doesn't work. There's no snap. So that's not a good way to... We're going to have to tape that shut right now. I'm going to tape it shut. Oh, man. All right. We could do that. Flying circus is not a troll. He wouldn't have a wrench if he was a troll. Yeah, now it's taped down. I'll never be able to open it up again, and I'm never going to want to open it up again because I'll probably never use any of those other garbage tools that they gave with the machine. Okay, water. And I don't think there's a way to prime this at all. Nope, just what I said originally. Just press down and have a firm base. But, before you put it in your mouth, make sure you plug it in. Ready? Here we go. Remember what I said about the lukewarm water? Even room temperature water, which is 82 degrees, is cold on your teeth. But it has a dial on it for how strong you want to set it. Works fine. I had a big piece of pork stuck in my tooth up here before, and I just blew it right out. So it works just fine. Never let the reservoir run dry. And where will I put this for now? I can't put it by the sink. Because this is set up for 220 volts. And my last water pick was from America, set up at 110. Now this says it works on 110 or 220, so we're not going to worry about that now. I'm not even going to think about that now. I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you, Lewis. Flying Circus, thank you for your due diligence. I'll leave this up here on my bed because I'm going to use it after I have dinner. And then I might just clear off my desk and leave it on my desk so I use it after every meal. It's a great tool to have. Okay. So, we'll put all of this material for the water pick back in the box. And I'll save this box for about a week. And then I'll throw it out. Put the scissors back over there. Put my knife back on my keychain. Put the staple gun back up on top here. Put my pen back in my pen box. I'll check the comments one more time. Then I'm going to end the live stream. And then I'm going to go out. I'm going to take a few minute break and set up the TS400 street saw to be rebuilt, including the rubber hoses from the carburetor. There's a rubber hose from the carburetor to the gas tank, and then there's a rubber hose that pressurizes the gas tank through back pressure from the carburetor. It does it. I can't explain to you how it does it, but there's a hose that builds up pressure in the tank to maintain positive pressure inside the tank. And then Simulacron. Mike is going to have to empty his block list. There's over 600, 700 people in there. That would mean I would have to deal with 600 or 700 trolls. I will never empty my block list, ever. I let 3 people off the block list. 3. Because I saw they went to other channels and said that they know what they did. I don't need to repeat what they did. I don't need somebody coming to my channel and trolling me. If you don't believe what I say the first time I say it, I block you. I don't care. I don't need you. I don't need people to give me lip service on my channel. I'm not like that. In real life, I am always in charge of just about everything I've ever done in my life. I owned a 30 by 50, 188-ton barge with a crane on it. I owned the excavation company outright. I owned the backhoe company. I owned the bobcat and the trenching machines. I owned the drill rig. I owned the land crane and the land pile driving apparatus. I owned it. I don't need people telling me what to do. At best, I will give you 15 seconds of time if you have a suggestion. And if I hadn't thought about that suggestion already, in those 15 seconds, I will know if it's a good suggestion and let you continue talking, or a bad suggestion and say, okay, stop. I already thought about that. It won't work. And if you argue with me that it will work, then here's what happens. You need a new job. It's not complicated. If I have to argue with one of my men on the job, that means they're smarter than me. They don't need my salary coming into their pocket or their coffers. They don't need me if they're smarter than me. And they certainly, if they're going to buck up against me when I'm working, that's going to take away from my focus on or my concentration of the job. So if you're on my job and you argue with me, all I normally say to you is, okay, how many hours have you worked this week? How much do I owe you right now? Whatever they say. If they charge me 2 extra hours, or they owed me 2 hours and they forget to put it in, I give them exactly what they say and I tell them, okay, find another job. I refuse to have conversations with the people who work for me unless it's going to be an intelligent conversation and something I haven't thought about. If I thought about it and don't do it and I say, look, I've already thought about that, it won't work, and then they want to argue with me that it's going to work, you go someplace else. This is not open for discussion. I'm not going to argue with a guy that's not in business for himself, not paying a payroll, not writing their name on the front of the check, not having any equipment. They come to work without a hammer, without a ruler. They don't have any tools. They don't have a skill saw. They don't have a sawzall. They don't have a drill. They're using all my equipment, and then they're going to tell me how to do the job. They're going to go someplace else, and I'm going to find somebody to replace them. I give them 15 seconds. That is why they call me Mr. Congeniality, because I allow you to voice your opinion until I say your opinion doesn't matter. And if you continue and argue your point, then your opinion matters, but now you go someplace else. Just go. How much do I owe you? And I always keep enough money in my pocket to pay my men at the end of the day. If they decide they want to quit, if they decide that they're smarter than me, I always have enough money in my pocket to pay the men when it's time to terminate them. This way I don't have to go home. I don't have to go to the bank. I'm a nice guy. Ask me, I'll tell you. I come with my own references. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sim. 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 Simple. Sim. If you are the Sim, send me a message. You know where. Send me a message. You're right there. Just send me a message. Toot the horn, my friend. Toot the horn. Sim, toot the horn. And say a word when you toot the horn, and then come back on here and toot the horn, and I'll remove the other guy. I don't want to do this all day. Send me a message, please. Wasting my time. Okay. Both of you are now blocked. I don't think that either one of them are Sim, to be honest with you. Okay, both of them are blocked. Sim, you can come back on. We'll have a private conversation. Thanks, Flying Circus. They're both gone. Both of those two Sims were the same one. They're gone. Sim knows how to get in touch with me. Okay, Flying Circus, thank you. So, Flying Circus, before you go forward with the thing that's in your email, if you have any questions, I'll give you the best information I can on that. I can't guarantee what will happen down the line, but right now, everything has been okay. I will confer to you other things, then you can make a decision on it after I confer to you. So I'm going to go now, and thanks for stopping by. And Louis Pagan Ponce, thank you. Louis Pagan Ponce, here is your response. Louis Pagan Ponce. Salamat. Okay. The sun is coming out. Stopped raining. The sun is over the side of the shop. Cargo 1. It's 2 o'clock. I could probably get that TS400 together in about an hour. Gotta go. Thanks for watching. I'm Big Permy from Mr. Congeniality. And that one reason I gave you about why I am Mr. Congeniality, when you work for me, that's just a very small portion of my attitude on the job. When I'm on the job, I'm the boss. I don't want to hear, I really don't want to hear your opinions. I've been doing this stuff for 38 years. Unless it's some kind of new technology that I don't know about, I'm not interested in hearing your opinions that I should hire a mason and a rebar bending guy for a year for the price of the machine. Yeah, okay. I'm not interested in those kind of opinions. And then for 1 year, I have to pay 2 salaries and deal with 2 people, and they're both their attitudes if they're drunk or if they smoke cigarettes on the job. I'm not going to do that. I do things my way. I get more work done by myself than any 3 Filipinos could ever hope to accomplish in any one day, unless it's just straight labor. And if I just need straight labor, I'll hire a straight labor for 1 day at a time. But other than that, when it comes to cutting plywood, building forms, making stuff, manufacturing stuff, machining stuff, working metal for whatever reason, I'm better than any 3 Filipino men on any given day, every day of the year. Bye-bye for now. From Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby. I'm Ping Permy, which means take care always. Bye-bye for now. Yep, come on, let's go. Bye-bye.